Nah, it's just robots humping dinosaurs in the sky.
Dinobot Wars!
Robots in disguise as giant metal dicks with laser eyes. Back in '85, some mad scientist prick revived the dinos. Yeah, that's the trick. T-Rex is stomping, raptors on the prowl, but these ain't your kids' toys. They're pissed and foul. Then the Dinobots show up, transforming like they care, but really they're just junkyard scrap with robot boners everywhere. They're fighting for Earth bullshit. It's all for show while the planet's getting reamed from head to toe. Dinobot Wars, Autobots, Decepticons, nah, just oil slick pricks. Dinobot Wars, robots in disguise as giant metal dicks. But wait, here's me, Matt Jarbo, looking like Rambo on roids. Bandana on, mullet flowing, dual M16s ready to deploy. In my cherry red Mustang V8 roaring like a beast. I'm the only one who can stop this robotic dino feast. I roll up screaming, eat lead, you prehistoric fucks. Blasting robo T-Rexes till the circuits suck. One bot tries to transform, I just laugh and shoot his ass. More than meets the eye, yeah, more than meets my brass. Oh, sure, the world's doomed, dinos eating people whole. Robots jacking off lasers in the control. But don't worry, folks, Matt Jarbo's on the scene. With my guns in my car, I'll make them all scream. No plot, no logic, just explosions and crude. Cause in the Dinobot Wars, I'm the only dude who's screwed. Wait, no, I'm the one doing the screwing. Dinobot Wars, more than meets the eye. It's just robots and dinos fucking till they die. Dinobot Wars, robots in disguise as giant metal dicks with laser eyes. Matt Jarbo saves the day. Yeah, right. What a surprise. Yeah, Earth is safe thanks to me. Now where's my beer? These wars are killing me.
Maybe I do have delusions of grandeur. It was on my mind today because I was like, I have an overactive imagination. And I had like one of those daydreams where it's all like, you save the day, you beat the bad guys and all that kind of shit. It's weird. Like you never get away from it, right? You hear a cool song, all of a sudden you're like in your mind, you're like, I can fight like tons of bad guys and win. I can Chuck Norris or Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee or Jet Li or Jason Statham the fuck out of everybody. So I thought I would just use this as a free therapy session and talk about maybe I do have, in fact, delusions of grandeur. What's up, folks? How y'all doing? Welcome back to the weekly show. We got David. We got Music Man. Thank you. I like the thumbnail too. It actually got my face. I was surprised. It gave me a rockin' body though, right? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Like that would get me chicks in the 80s, man. Full head of luscious hair, a beard that looks like that. It's nice. Defined abs. Like that right there. That's the delusions of grandeur. Dual wielding M16s, cherry red 1964 Mustang, fighting off dinos and robots. I mean, clearly it is it is something that can only come from the mind of a stunted adult, I guess. Thank you for enjoying this song. Literally, like, did not even know what it sounded like. I just hit like I like generated it. I hit go, let's go. Because I fell asleep and then I woke up late, as I usually tend to do on my days off. Because last night, oh my god, fucking last night, ended up doing a 13.5 hour day, no fucking break. Now, I don't know if any of you actually like get notifications for this channel outside of live streams. YouTube is weird like that, but I've been doing this thing where I'm kind of just like doing like a recap of my day, kind of talking for like 30 minutes about just shit that's on my mind or whatever. And I'll be doing that like honestly like on days where I'm not going to be streaming. So like today we could talk about stuff, but then for the most part I'll be doing that like when I get off work. Last night though I did this one. If you this one is, you know, all ass no breaks. And I'll fully admit this is where I fucked up. I came home and I thought to myself, like, yeah, you know what? Like, I shouldn't record anything. I should just like go lay down, go to bed, get some sleep, all that kind of shit, right? And and then my brain's like, no, you made this deal with yourself to like record your thoughts at the end of the day. Am I all right? You could probably get about like 25 minutes into last night's block, and like I straight up like lose my place. I'm so tired that as I was recording, because what I do is I start talking about something and then I'll close my eyes and just focus on my voice and focus on what I want to say. And I think I put myself to sleep at some point in time because I just forgot what it was I was trying to say. So I learned last night, like, you can't record anything at 4 o'clock in the morning after rocking a 13.5 hour shift where you did not get any break whatsoever. Things I fucking learn. You know, this is what happens when you are a failed YouTuber. You push yourself too far. Let's see. Holy shit, I'm still around. I actually never left. Cool imp. I never left. Despite what people might have heard, the rumors of my death were greatly exaggerated. But the rumors of the death of this channel were not. We got super chat here from Garrick. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. It says, what do you think of Trump's comments about the Rob Reiner death? Even some of his supporters are calling him out for it. One of the most callous things you can do is mock somebody in that regard, right? You don't have to like it. Like when somebody dies, that's okay, right? You cannot say anything. Because when someone dies, especially Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, Rob Reiner and his wife, at this point, the prevailing theory is that they were murdered by their son. As far as I know, that hasn't been confirmed yet. I don't quite know. But like when it happened last night, my immediate thought was like, oh shit, Rob Reiner's really like vocally political. You know, did some MAGA decide to go and, you know, take him out like you took out one of ours, which never happened with Charlie Kirk, but they of course believe that. And then do you believe, you know, like they could have done that? And then I heard about the son and I'm like, okay, like that's better in some weird tragic way. The comments that Trump made today, I think are absolutely unfathomably unbecoming of a president. And not even just like in general, the president, I mean like Trump and his own actions, you know, like, and he had to make it about himself, which just goes to show you how wildly narcissistic he is. And the right wing, yeah, some of them are pushing back on it. People on True Social are pushing back. Verified accounts on True Social are pushing back because it's like, ooh, this makes you look bad, right? Because if you were to go to like most people and be like, yeah, you know, like the director of The Princess Bride died. Oh man, that's terrible. How'd he die? He was murdered by his son. His wife also died. The son stabbed them both to death. Oh my God, that's tragic and terrible. That's wild. Like, I'm sure everyone has been like there's been an outpouring of support. Oh yeah, no. I mean, everyone except the president, because the president went out there and basically like, you know, made fun of his death and mocked him for not liking Trump. I just, this is now the litmus for what you show people who are Trump supporters. This is now the litmus for that. You stop and you go, okay, so yeah, okay, so you like him. What do you think of this? And then if their response is anything other than absolute utter condemnation, then you know exactly the kind of person you're dealing with. Right. And it's hard to then want to then continue talking with that person, because you do at that point realize how like simple they are, how remedial they are, how retarded they are. You know, like you at that point know, like, either they don't simply give a shit about humanity if it's a political thing, or they're going to try to turn everything into politics and then make that something they can then profit off of, or they can, you know, use to justify their own bigotry and hatred. Like, I don't know, again, if anyone heard the, like, again, my little vlog rant thing from last night. I had a passenger last night who was like going off about trans athletes and illegal aliens and whatnot, you know, and we had about 45 minutes, just her and I, and she was in her 70s, you know, and so she's like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks at that point. And so we're talking, and I'm just like asking her like what Trump has done. And she just, again, she has like ideas. She's like, well, my husband and I, like, I'm like, well, the tariff. She's like, well, yeah, but like the tariffs are good for America. And I'm like, how? Like, we pay the cost of those imports, of those fees, you know? And she's like, well, yeah. Okay. You know, and then we're talking about like, you know, like how she only likes to really be around white men. She feels more comfortable around white men than anybody else, you know? And I'm just like, holy shit. Like this lady is just, you can tell, like, this is, and she calls herself a boomer and all this shit. But I was able to kind of get her to like acknowledge that Trump is not the savior that her husband thinks that he is. And then she was like, really, I just want like these things. And I'm like, okay, well, he's not really delivering on these things, is he? Well, she's like, I hope somebody will. You know, and then I'm like, well, what do you think about the fact that he's enriched himself through the crypto scams and through the donations and everything else? Like Atari Jet, all this other shit. And she really didn't have much of an answer for that, because they never really do. And that ends up being the biggest problem when you're dealing with people on the right. Like, the thing is, in order to really kind of get them to see things from your perspective, you almost have to like handle them with kid gloves and almost placate some of their worst machinations, their worst ideals, everything else, in order to get them to the point of being able to have a conversation. You know, and I think one of the things too is that a lot of people on the right think that the Democrats are like a monolith. You know, and I had to explain that to her yesterday about like how no, like I'm like, the right wing is the monolith, the left wing is the groups that are always infighting over largely stupid shit, because everybody wants to be like the most oppressed group that can then have the loudest megaphone, you know. And I'm like, but when you think about social situations, Republicans overreact to most things, and and Democrats or liberals overcorrect, and that's a big problem with both sides. But this situation with Trump and Reiner, I think this is going to follow him, man. This is going to follow him. Are people who, and there, I saw a fair amount of conservatives mocking Rob Reiner's death. And like, none of those people are going to lose their jobs. None of them. Not one of them is going to lose their goddamn jobs. Right? Not one. It doesn't matter what the hypocrisy is. Not one of them is going to lose their job. Because we don't live in an equitable society by any stretch. All right, so Garrick here for 5. Thank you, buddy. Disney should cast Styx Hexenhammer as Captain Jack Sparrow if Johnny Depp doesn't want to come back for Pirate 6. He already dresses like a pirate. Yeah, listen, that guy is just a self-flagrating cockwaffle and like complete fucking moron. Like, I mean, many years ago, I was talking with my cousin who is a conservative, and we were talking about YouTubers, and he goes, oh yeah, I watch Styx Hexenhammer all the time. And I just looked at him like, really? Like, that guy's an idiot. He's like, yeah, I make some good points sometimes. I'm like, he's still a fucking idiot. And yes, him getting arrested, what was it? He discharged a firearm, right? Like, there was like an unlawful discharge of a firearm, and Styx's, you know, his mugshot looks a lot like Boogie's mugshot, but if Boogie was on Ozempic, you know, it's just like, holy shit, these guys are retards. It is crazy. But yes, fuck that guy. Like, I mean, honestly, most right wingers are retarded in regards to being online commentators. Like, I mean, come on, look at Dave Rubin. How does Dave Rubin still have an audience? That's what I don't even get. Right? Like, Dave Rubin is just like, I think he's there as just like a token. And when he's no longer needed, like when MAGA's over, so is Dave Rubin. When MAGA's over, so is a lot of people that have absolutely like bought into this shit, and they will not be able to get away from it. Wasn't Styx going to be at Kilroy? Maybe. Maybe. I know Razor Fist was going to be there because he lives in the Phoenix area, and this took place in the Phoenix area. But Razor Fist didn't show up for optics reasons. But again, a lot of the right wingers that were going to go, they all dropped out because of the optics of it. And so look, don't get me wrong, man. Kilroy was I had fun, but then again, they flew me out there, put me up in like a resort for a couple days, and I got to hang out with my friends, and that was cool. And then I talked about online harassment that nobody gave a shit about because like no one was there. And I also was definitely not like the draw of anything. So that was all right. I did miss this one here from you, Garrick. Thank you, buddy. Did I watch the Barry Weiss, Erica Kirk interview? It keeps getting shoved in my face. Nope. I did not. No, I don't care. I know I saw, because you and I were talking about this privately. CBS, his Twitter feed has been just shoving this down everyone's face on Twitter, right? Like Barry Weiss is out there running fucking PR, like almost like state-sponsored PR for Erica Kirk. And she's out there just trying like crazy to, I just want to say like sane wash Erica Kirk to fucking, to get people to like stop questioning the narrative that Candace Owens is putting out there about who killed Charlie Kirk. It's almost like I feel like we're getting so close to the craziness of this all that PBS might like revive Carmen Sandiego, but turn it into like a, who in the world shot Charlie Kirk, from Provo, Utah to Istanbul. I don't know. It could be literally anything, but like, those guys are just, look, Barry Weiss was paid an insane amount of money and was brought in to more or less run defense for not only Israel, but for Donald Trump and the right wing. And that's what she's going to do for the time being. And CBS has a lot of coverage, like a lot of viewers are older boomers, right? CBS is still, I believe, the most watched television network. It gets the most amount of views. Like, you got to understand, like, The Big Bang Theory was on CBS. Why would old people like The Big Bang Theory? You know why? Because they thought that it was funny. My grandparents did not know about technology. My grandparents did not know about geek culture. My grandparents really only knew like Mario from like the N64 days, because that was something we got them when my grandmother retired. And she was really fucking good at Super Mario 64. All 120 stars. Lady knew every single one and knew every trick on how to get them. Okay. Like in retirement, that girl became a gamer, which is based. But they love the fuck out of The Big Bang Theory. They love the fuck out of that goddamn show. So to me, it's like, that's the audience right there. Okay. You're starting to see a bit of a waffling of some older people in regards to like Trump and maybe even the Conservative Party. And those people vote. And those are the voters that the right wing needs to meet. Those are the voters that the right wing needs to make sure are locked in, dialed in to the rhetoric from the right. And so by having Barry Weiss run CBS News and run defense for all this shit, they will downplay what's going on in Gaza. They will downplay what's going on with Donald Trump. They'll downplay the fact that he is slowly degrading and disintegrating in front of us. And they know it. And anyone who pays attention knows it. But if those boomers aren't on Facebook, or again, still largely getting right-wing shit shoved into their fucking eyeballs, they're not going to be getting anything from alternative media sources because they never do. But now that source is very skewed towards one particular group of people. And that's where we are. And that's why you're seeing that, right? Hey, what up, Underhaven? How you doing? My brain is shot today. Cracks are forming in MAGA for the first time in decade. It's surreal to see. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to look at all of that, right? It's kind of crazy to see that there's like, the MAGA civil war is happening. And why is the MAGA civil war happening? Because people want access to Charlie Kirk. They want access to Charlie Kirk's audience, and as a result of that, they are willing to they are currently fighting for the king of the hill, and it's really the king of the crazies, right? It's really the king of the fucking crazies. And that ends up being, to me, the funniest damn thing, because, what you've got like Candace Owens going fucking batshit crazy. And you've got Nick Fuentes looking like he's actually, the sane individual in this case, calling out Erica Kirk and her fucking fake ass lies and her fake tears and all that shit. And you've got all that. It's crazy to me. Now, I wanted to bring this up here. This is, Charlie Kirk, 5.65 million subs. All right. I kind of want to see, hold on. I want to see if I can find his social blade and to get an idea of where this is. Okay. Social blade. Hold on. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So here is his, I just wanted to show this, right? So here's his social blade. All right, we can see here, gain subscribers weekly. Gee, I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened in that week, right? Look at that. Look at that. In just looking at this here, monthly subscribers gained. All right. December 2024, what is this here? November 2024, 340,000. That can't be. Hold on. We gotta scroll to the other side of that. Let's see. Monthly gained. Yeah. What's going on here? Detailed. All right. So they deleted a shitload of videos here, but he got a lot. September 2025, 184 million. Look at that. In September of 2025, 184 million views. They normally get like 30 million. There's a lot of views there. These are mostly short views, by the way. All right. These are mostly shorts. All right. I don't know why the fuck it's doing that. I just want to see detailed. Okay, hold on. But again, like you go over here and you look, the gained weekly, 1 million, right? And then 500,000, and then 180,000, and then 50,000, 20,000, 10,000. So you see that within a month, like within 5 weeks of Charlie dying, right? It went back down to normal. And then 0, 0, 0, 0, no net gain whatsoever. That's mainly what I'm trying to say. So you have like no net gain. They still get a lot of views. All right. They still got, in the last 7 days, 2.4 million. Candace Owens gets that in a day. And it looks like they haven't streamed in a month. All right. They haven't streamed in a month. So that's kind of crazy. I thought that they were doing, what are their shorts looking like? Okay. It's Erica. It's just Erica looking like the fakest. Well, here we go. This has actually got a little bit of emotion there in the eyes. You can actually see some tears welling. There's some moisture. Let's see what she says.
We walked.
I'll share with
Every time you make.
What the hell?
I'll share with you that I asked our daughter.
We walked in.
There's other theories swirling around about Charlie's assassination.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
When everything happened, my phone died. It became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end. I've intentionally insulated myself because I need to guard my heart and I need to be there for my kids.
She was literally everywhere though, right? Like she was everywhere. this is why people are calling out Erica Kirk as being like the fakest fake ass of all fucking fake ass time, right? Tammy Lynn Faker, basically. If you look at the way that Erica Kirk, again, like I thought, oh, there might be some emotion here. Look at her eyes. You can see, I think she's got, there's definitely moisture there, but it's like, I'm not seeing any of like the swelling that you would see under the bottom. Maybe we get up here, get a little bit. She's going to cry about a minute in. Let's see.
He didn't die in a car accident. He didn't die from cancer. He was assassinated. And the difference between this.
See, the problem, I got to say this though, the problem with someone like Erica Kirk in this situation is she's like, let me dab my eye, let me dab my nose, the places that you would think that liquid would be forming based upon emotion and the release of that particular emotion. But the thing is, like, they're shooting this in like ultra 4K. And so in close-up shots, and you can see like there's nothing that's glistening on her nose before then. You can see that there's nothing there that, like, underneath her eyes. It is very much, look, like I thought you could see some stuff there. It looks like she's got contacts in her eyes, right? Like she's got contacts or something is going on with her eye right there. You know, she's also just got really blue eyes is another factor as well. But I don't, again, you're not really seeing anything. There's no smearing of any kind of makeup. Nothing is out of place. Everything looks perfectly fine, perfectly sheen, perfectly placed, perfectly designed. And she's just really a bad actress is what it boils down to.
And again, my only request is that just please pray and consider and think about whatever you put online, because it's going to impact his kids in the future.
I mean, given the fact that his own show was denigrating all sorts of people all the time, I don't think Charlie thought about that or, quite frankly, gave one iota of a fuck about it. Sorry, I don't. I don't think he should be dead. Let me just, again, make that abundantly clear. But it's not like the shit that he put out there was good. It's not like the shit he put out there was great or grandiose or amazing. He was putting out hatred pretty fucking frequently. And he would do it in the podcast form, but the shorts were largely of him debating ill-prepped, ill-equipped college freshmen, a 31-year-old going to college preying on young, impressionable teenagers who wanted to debate him. Gee, that's not the win you think it is. That's like trying to, it's so stupid. But again, the right wing will never see Charlie as being anything other than the propagandist. They will never see him as the propagandist that he was. But now there is all that money, all that power, all that influence, right? But even this here, is this her with Barry Weiss, right? But this only has 70,000 views.
Charlie, every single day on his way into work, would text people Bible verses. And he just wanted to remind people that this is what it's all about. It's about, your life here is so short. So are you going to use your short time here on earth to make this place better, or are you going to make it worse? Are you going to be a solution, or are you going to be an additional problem? And so every day he wanted to help people remember, okay, when I message you, it's to get your mind right and your heart.
So what, does he message his wife and be like, Erica, it's not about you anymore, Erica. It's not about you. You must submit to me. I'm your husband. You must submit, Erica. It's in the good book, Erica. Like the shit that he was saying to Taylor Swift, to be a fucking dick. And so in this particular case, you can see that the shorts are very, very, very much dying. They're not getting the views, right? Not what they used to be, because they got no new content of him like owning the fucking libs. And even then, look at the ones that did really well, right? It's like, okay, ranking my moments. Okay, this one will do well because it's the rankings. Full debate up now, right? The debate ones do well. Him here with the blue hat is, that did well. I'm not too sure what the hell that. Actually, I'm kind of curious about that one. Is this one? What is this the one?
Please.
I don't know what's going on with this shit. Hold on a second. Fucking, it's acting weird. Okay. Click.
I hate Charlie Kirk! I hate him! I hate him! I hate him! I hate him!
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to send her a signed hat.
I hate Charlie Kirk! I hate him! I hate him! I hate him! I hate him!
See, like, again, Are you going to be the solution, or are you just going to be a troll on the fucking internet? And there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about, right? I'm going to send her a signed hat. You know, I'm not going to try to win her over through debate, through discussion, through any of those things. No, I'm just going to send her a signed hat because that's going to be a way to be a dick about it. That's what I'm talking about. That's where we really see this now on Charlie Kirk. So, okay, look, now you've got the Charlie Kirk show. All right. And they're up on the podcasts here. I think maybe. No, that's not. They're doing that, right? Playlists. Let's see. Charlie Kirk Memorial. You know, this is all okay. So I'm looking at their lives. Unless they take their lives down, right? They're just not airing them. And those lives actually got a lot of views. But here you go. You've got laying out the evidence that points to Tyler Robinson as the assassin. 6 hours ago, 20,000 views. All right, look at this. Literally a video about the assassin, about the trial of the assassin, all the information right now that's coming out about that. 20,000 views. Erica Kirk joins the Charlie Kirk show to discuss Charlie's final book. All right. A book that was magically all the way done about fucking whatever. I keep hearing this book is about him loving Israel. Okay. You know, 28,000 views, 30,000 views, 68,000 views, 8.9 thousand. Look at this here. It's dead, folks. It's dead. It can't get that much more deader. 5.65 million subscribers. It shot up 1 million subscribers in a fucking day. And yet it's pulling in numbers that would that honestly, like numbers I used to get when this channel was at its full potential. So that goes to show you right now that it's all fucking dead. Right? Sorry, I didn't mean that was loud. I can't control the volume on that shit, right? Let's see, Garrick here, thank you, says, it just seems like MAGA is going to collapse once Trump leaves office. Vance, DeSantis, and Trump Jr. will try to carry the torch, but will fail. I mean, I have said it before, and I will say it again. The one person I felt that could have potentially led MAGA after Trump was Charlie Kirk. And there's no one else who's got the ability to do it. All right. And so the whole point of that is, and it's not even like Tyler Robinson took out Charlie Kirk in order to, stop that from happening. It's just like one of those things where you're like, no, Charlie was probably like the one guy that could have done it. But let's quickly talk about why that was the case. And it's not because Charlie was popular. He was well known, but he wasn't well liked. And it's the same thing that happens in the wake of like Rush Limbaugh's death. Once you are no longer there to pump out that level of hate day after day after day after day after day, keeping your audience like misinformed, ill-informed, ignorant, maybe even illiterate in some cases, right? Like they are going to find somebody else to fill that void. Like you are nothing more than an in the moment mouthpiece. And that's why 3 months after his death, like the only people trying to keep Charlie Kirk alive is Erica, who's just fundraising for Turning Point, because they know that eventually that money is going to dry up, because those guys, they're not going to want to deal with a woman. They're not going to want to deal with a woman. So she's getting whatever she can get right now. And look, they're taking care of her for life. Like they don't ever have to work again. But Turning Point USA, unless it can get a person to take it over that would be able to actually have some charisma, I hate to say it like this, but most likely the one person that would do that would be like, I would say probably, and you may disagree, but like, I think JD Vance might, I could see JD Vance stepping down as being vice president when it gets to be so bad with Trump. Right. Because eventually it's going to get to be so bad with Trump that it's like the same thing with like Biden and Kamala. Right. People put a lot of blame for what happened with Biden on Kamala because she didn't, step up and like push him out or step up and, do her job as VP as to like try to, get him to concede and get him to step out earlier. You know what I mean? Like the vice president has no electoral power. They really don't have much authority at all. They're just kind of a cheerleader that can maybe broker some deals, but really not that much. But JD Vance, if he does have delusions of grandeur for being, president, his best course of action would probably be to leave the presidency, the vice presidency, head over to Arizona, take over Turning Point. And even though he's got zero charisma and no one really likes JD Vance, they probably would still prefer him to, let's say, like Erica Kirk, right? They would probably prefer him to Erica Kirk because he's a man. And what does that tell you about our, right, misogyny in this fucking country and shit, toxic masculinity and whatnot. These guys would rather the most like milquetoast, benign moron ever, right, who would change his opinion on a dime based upon whoever's fucking paying him to take over this organization rather than a woman. But I will say this, though. You know why I think Erica Kirk and JD Vance are eventually going to get together and get married? You know why I think that? Because they both really like fucking eyeliner. Have you guys noticed that? That both Erica Kirk and JD Vance really, really like fucking eyeliner. They do. Let me see if I can find a picture here. Let's fucking find it and see if we can get an idea for what I'm talking about here. Let's see. I hope I can find them both together. This is this one will work. Hold on a second. Let me just bring it up. All right. Okay. All right. So here, take a look at this, right? Look at this. Both JD and Erica love the fuck out goddamn eyeliner. Look at that. They would do each other's makeup every day. Hey, babe, I got to go out there and meet the troops. You want to apply my eyeliner for me? Yeah, babe, only if you do it for me too. Right? Couples that make up together, stake up together. I don't even know. But it's true. They both really like eyeliner. Like a lot. So but that's where that is something I think is going to fucking happen. That is something I think is going to happen, is I think that the two of them are going to ultimately end up getting together and maybe trying to like turn Turning Point into something that can be ultimately what Charlie wanted it to be. And other than that, I don't know. But everybody else, DeSantis, no one gives a shit about Ron DeSantis. I don't even think he's going to win re-election. Like Trump Jr. is too coked out to give a shit. Like it's just, it's pretty bad. Let me see here. Oversight. All right. There, I want to see, this Rational sent me a text here. So, hold on. All right. What is it? Okay. Well, not text. You sent super chat here. All right. Did I see the photos the House Oversight Committee released from the Epstein files? I'm trying to find them. Like the new ones that just came out. Is it from 3 days ago? Would it be from 3 days ago? Because I've been so fucking busy this weekend that I just I don't even know what day it is anymore. I think this is it. Hold on. Oh, no. I lost browser. Hold on. Stupid StreamYard doing its shit again. Okay. All right. There we go. So this is them talking about that. This is CBS News. So, we'll see the spin. I'm kind of curious if this is coming in from what Barry Weiss is trying to get them to do.
We want to bring you some breaking news just into our newsroom now. A new batch of photos from the Epstein estate have just been released. This as a deadline for the release of all documents is approaching. CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarlane joins us with what images have been released, what they show, Scott, and what this means for the larger effort to get all of the files from the Epstein investigation out into the public.
Hey, Errol, a couple dozen photos have been released this morning from the Epstein estate through the U.S. House Oversight Committee Democrats. Those photos show Jeffrey Epstein in proximity to President Trump, former President Clinton, Steve Bannon, a Trump ally, and a number of other famous faces. The photos don't show any wrongdoing, but they show the circles in which Epstein was operating, the powerful people who surrounded him, who he was engaged with. And this will unequivocally add pressure to the Department of Justice.
I'm sorry. This guy. No offense to this dude, right? But there's like just his delivery is so well, you know, that these images they show Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein hanging out with Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and Steve Bannon. Yeah, and they don't. It's like, okay, bro. Okay, people need the excitement, dude. People need that. Like they need like the pomp and the circumstance, which yes does say a lot about how the internet has rotted our brain in regards to dopamine hits. But for the love of fucking Christ, land the fucking plane. Or yes, they don't show any goddamn wrongdoing, but show the fucking images. I'm a little hyped up. I'm sorry.
Is to release its full Epstein case files 1 week from today. That's the deadline for them to do so. The images that were released by the House Oversight Committee include some redactions to mask the faces of young women who are seen near President Trump before he was president many years ago, and near Jeffrey Epstein. Those redactions were made by the people who released the images publicly, but it's worth underscoring these photos come from the Epstein estate, not from the government. We'll go through some of them here. There you see Jeffrey Epstein on the left. That was Alan Dershowitz on the right. Here's Jeffrey Epstein on the right, and Bill Clinton in the middle. Some of the other images will show President Trump with Epstein. We've seen some images of that before. The new cache will show other images of Trump and Epstein.
All right, hold on. We're going to go over to the article, and then I'll make it more interesting to listen to. Hyped up how much green tea have I had? I drank a Celsius and then fell asleep, and then it kicked in. I have to do that when it comes to like an energy drink. Like if I'm tired, I'll chug one and then I'll lay down for like 45 minutes. And then like when I wake up, it's kind of kicked in. It actually really does. It helps, right? Because it takes a little bit of time for caffeine to hit your system. You know, if only caffeine worked like cocaine. Jesus Christ, right? God, if only it worked like cocaine. What? Okay. Steve Bannon is fucked. Well, the thing is, Steve Bannon was already known to have been kind of palling around. Like he's apparently got like hundreds of hours of videotape when he was trying to do a documentary on Epstein. So there's a lot with that's going on. You know, there's a lot of speculation about Bannon. And like, you know, again, like when all of these guys inevitably die, we're going to find out a lot more. Unfortunately, like none of them are going to ever be in jail. It's just never going to fucking happen. All right, so let's see what it says here. Disturbing photo on Epstein's desk sparks horror over incapacitated young girl passed out on couch. Ooh, that's creepy. A disturbing framed photograph prominently displayed on Jeffrey Epstein's desk has sparked intense speculation online, with social media users claiming it shows an incapacitated woman. The image was among 19 photos released by Democratic lawmakers from the disgraced financier's estate on Friday, including photos showing Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Don't know who that guy is, but apparently that's a fucking mouthful of the last name. Jesus Christ. The photos do not implicate any of the individuals in Epstein's crimes. Democrats selectively released the images from a collection of 95,000 from the estate. Well, yeah, but they're showing like a pattern here, right? There's a pattern here that's happening. In one of the undated images, Epstein is seated at his desk opposite right-wing political strategist Steve Bannon at the late pedophile's Manhattan townhouse. The pair had a professional relationship during 2018 and 2019 when Bannon provided media coaching and advice to Epstein on rehabilitating his public image, which is really fascinating because it was in 2018 when Bannon got ousted from the White House. And then it was in 2019 when Epstein wasn't he arrested in 2019? So it really feels like something's going on with all that, right? Like Bannon, I think Bannon knows where the body is buried on this one, if I'm being honest with you. Bannon is also, I wouldn't put it past Bannon to be like the inside man. Oh, that's the former Prince Andrew? Oh, right, Windsor, there we go. I'm not British. I'm not British. So there we go. I have to scroll down to see all the photos. Well, I'm looking at the article. All right. Here we go. So this is the photograph of Bannon with Epstein, and I can't see these like. Is that looking an incapacitated young woman on that picture there? I can't tell. Okay. I mean, that kind of does. Yeah. That's a weird one. Is that like a trophy from like his first victim? Could you imagine that that's the case? That like was his first victim, and he's like, I want this on my desk to remember it always. And like nobody ever saw this. Nobody ever questioned what it was. I mean, that's wild. Let's see. A frame picture on the left corner of the desk shows a person, perhaps a child, with their arms around Epstein and their head on his shoulder. So, there's that. What is this here? The third photo is seen in a plate close to the pedophile's left hand. It's not possible to see what the photograph shows, but the black box placed over it indicates that at least one person whose identity is being protected. So there's some pictures there, whatever that is. All right. So Trump and Epstein at this party. Okay. Yeah, there's Clinton, Ghislaine, and, this is Jimmy Buffett. That's his wife. Okay. All right. Bill Gates and Prince Andrew, Donald Trump, and all of these young women. There's his hand around her waist right there. The president is seen posing with 6 women whose identities have been redacted. So we don't know when this was taken, where this was taken, but I would assume it's based upon the lays. It was either a Hawaiian party or perhaps the island itself. Trump is not wearing his tie, his tuxedo or bow tie. His tuxedo shirt is open, indicating that this is at the end of the night. Whatever kind of party was there, they were already well engaged in. We got these Trump condoms here. I'm huge. No one believes that. More like a mushroom stamp. So this was sold for $4.50 at what appears to be a Fish Eddie, a New York store. This is just like Trump. I don't even know what the point of that was. Here is Epstein and Richard Branson. What the fuck? A black latex glove is included in the trove of 19 new images. Oh my God. Those are ribbed for her pleasure, guys. Those are ribbed for her pleasure. Holy shit. Whoa. I've never seen a glove like that before in my fucking life. I've never used it. And I don't even know. I buy clip-on ties, dude. I don't even fucking know how to tie a tie. I have a sensitive neck, so I really just can't stand ties at all. Yeah. So all of these this is a sex toy. This is absolutely a sex toy. Yeah. I've never seen one like this before. My question then becomes, who's wearing it? Who is wearing it? That's crazy as fuck. Holy shit. Look at like the thumb. like that's fucking that's industrial latex, guys. That shit's fucking leak proof. Wow. It's a lot of corkscrews. They got the little bumpy things up there. This one, like the middle finger, is looking more like a phallic, like it's padded on the outside. This is the weirdest thing I've never seen this before. Bubba wore it when Donald gave him a blowy. Well, did you hear that Bubba might actually be a horse and not Bill Clinton? So that could be pretty funny. I should wear the glove on air. I don't have it. I don't own one. I have a P.O. box if you want to send me one. And I would wear it on air just to kind of go, someone sent me this, but it's got to be white. So I can then make a Michael Jackson joke. Anyway. All right, we got Epstein and Dershowitz there. Okay. Mr. I kept my underwear on during the massage. Epstein and Woody Allen working while on a movie set. All right. There's Epstein and Bannon, just like a mere selfie. Bill Gates in front of a private jet alongside an unidentified pilot. So is this the crew that's flying everyone on the private jet? Donald Trump and what appears to be a woman on a private jet. All right. We got former Treasury Secretary Larry Sumner or Summers is seen in a private jet with Woody Allen and some random woman. Here we go. A black belt appears alongside what appears to be instructions for a sex toy. This is the jawbreaker gag. Terms and conditions and disclaimer of warranty. And the House Oversight, they chose to release this. Out of all the 95,000 images, they needed to have this thing here. So here's what it says. Always observe a person who has a gag in their mouth. Never leave that person unattended. The jawbreaker gag will cause a person's mouth to produce more saliva than a regular gag and create choking hazard if the person is unattended or inverted for any reason. So don't be upside down. It's possible for a person to vomit and suffocate while even standing, so extreme care and caution must be exercised with the use of this product. Wow. It's like, any of you guys ever see the movie Jawbreaker? I think, you know what? This is kind of the same thing. Holy shit. A glossy black cabinet in front of some famed photos. We got, there's Gates, some people there. I don't quite know who they are. Again, Woody Allen. Woody Allen got some splaining to do. There's, Woody Allen again, an unidentified woman. And of course, Epstein joking around, like, goddamn. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. Random woman doesn't get censored, but other get censored. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I also heard that Bubba could be Putin. I don't know. I don't know about that. It's the kind that Marcellus wore in Pulp Fiction. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens. He's going to get a whole bunch of pipe-hitting people to come on in and work over Zed. Anyway, what we got here, thank you very much. This is J.D. Vance changed his name a few times before going with the name J.D. Vance. It's true, he did. J.D. Vance will change his demeanor, his opinion, his name to anyone who is the highest bidder. So, again, these are people that you're going to want to have to be doing this stuff. Then Jess here, thank you, says Erica Kirk and crazy evangelicists are the same. I don't know entirely about that. But it does feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how far into the Christian rabbit hole she is. So, all right, this is something that Jess sent me here. This is an Instagram reel. All right, let's see.
That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Wait, I've seen this before.
I do not, and don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not.
Stop. That's it.
Jesus Christ. Are we supposed to be? Look, I mean, I've seen people make fun of that. All right. And like the whole, like, that's meant to be like Mama Bear coming out to play sort of thing. But it's really offset. For one, she's not looking at the camera. She's looking at Barry Weiss. If she was looking at the camera and had that look in her eye, right? Like it might have some more impact, but at the same time, her eyeliner just makes it look like complete, it matches the suit, sure. Her clothing, sure, but it's not intimidating. Now if she held up like a voodoo doll of Candace Owens and stabbed it repeatedly, with like a fucking nail or a needle or something, and she's trying to invoke voodoo and shit, that could be something that would be a little bit intimidating. All right, now she's pulling out the voodoo dolls. Shit is about to get fucking real. About to get real as shit. Did I see the trailer for Markiplier's new film? I did not. Spherical Man, Candace and Erica are going to have a closed door meeting. No, they had that today. Apparently, they had that today. There is today. They're supposed to have it on the 15th, and they today is the 15th. Let me see, because I think she's got it on her. She said something about it on her Instagram, I think. This is what I had heard. Let's see here. But I don't know when this stuff is taken. I don't think. Oh, maybe is it a story? Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, well, I don't need the song. All right, so she's me all day waiting for my girl. Oh, here we go.
Hours later, I'm alive. I'm totally fine, and I'm sorry. I was going to do a show for you guys this evening, but I am truly exhausted. Very productive conversation. I asked every single question. I mean, from Egyptian planes to Turning Point USA Faith, and I was very surprised by some of the answers that I got, and I think they were also very surprised when I shared certain intel. This probably should have happened a very long time ago, but I wanted to let you guys know that I am alive, and I will have the full rundown for you guys tomorrow of what transpired. And yeah, I think it was definitely a very big step in the right direction. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
So what does that even mean? Right? What does that mean that it was a productive conversation? Like, she was surprised that she surprised them with some of the intel that she brought. About what? Like, this is the thing. Tyler Robinson he's currently in court, like, right now. The guy that they think is like the shooter. Okay, the guy that they believe is the shooter, the guy that they think they've got dead to rights as the shooter. And Erica Kirk is meeting with Candace Owens to discuss potential evidence over other people being involved. And yet none of this is being done with fucking with law enforcement present. None of this is being rallied. They're not being looped in. Kash Patel doesn't have an FBI agent in there to hear this, this explosive information, this damning evidence against whoever might have been the true culprit behind Charlie Kirk's murder. I mean, it's like, again, the people that are following this that are not laughing at it, which I believe there are a number of them that aren't laughing at it, that believe this shit is really going on. I mean, if you look at Candace's, if you look at Candace's, fucking Twitter or YouTube account, like, you're looking at just a ton of stuff, right? Like you are looking at an insane amount of sway and opinion, right? So let me bring this up here.
Well, that has never happened before. I guess we could say.
Okay, here we go. So here we got her, Candace Owens, right? 5.68 million. Now she's got 30,000 more subscribers than Charlie Kirk's channel does, right? He had 5.65. She's got 5.68 from what we were just looking at. So we know that she's now usurped her friend. Okay. And she's usurped her friend, and she has grown bigger than him, which again, this is why she's in this is why she is in the position that she's in. If you look at her videos, all right, so she did they get rid of a bunch? What's going on here? Oh no, sorry, those are lives. Sorry. Okay. But remember I showed you guys, looking at Charlie Kirk, it was 2.4 million views in the last 7 days. She's gotten almost 20 million views in the last 7 days. So almost 10 times the amount of views Candace Owens has received in the last 7 days than fucking Charlie Kirk. And they're talking about the trial. They're talking about other things. Charlie's book, this, that, and the other. And clearly no one is caring. And this is the thing you have to remember. Like I said this before, when you die and you are that kind of mouthpiece, literally everything you built dies with you, because you are the center of that. You are the impetus of that. You are the voice. You are the draw, the talent, right? No one else at Turning Point is going to be able to keep people going as much. It will eventually die. They might sell it over to Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire, because Ben Shapiro needs the influx of an audience. But again, even Ben Shapiro doesn't have the type of mentality or charisma chutzpah, really, than that Charlie Kirk had. Ben Shapiro takes himself far too seriously and doesn't understand jokes. You know, I mean, his humor is as dry as his wife. And so you've got that, right? Charlie Kirk at least kind of understood the assignment. You know, the guy could be playful. He could be charismatic. Who else? What? Matt Walsh? I mean, like, the guy's got a personality like fucking burnt toast. You know, what? Michael Knowles? I mean, no, that guy is, again, just fucking stupid. Benny Johnson is never going to beat the, he's, you know, he's gay, but he's hiding it. Accusations. So those guys are never going to want to deal with that. Milo Yiannopoulos might actually be able to wrestle something out of this whole situation. I don't quite know. He seems to be coming back on some bent with this thing. He's trying to get himself back out there again. We're seeing this entire thing play out in just real time. You know, it is like a slow moving Hindenburg. But we are looking at Candace Owens as being the one right now who is the king of the hill. Now, this isn't permanent. This isn't permanent at all. Candace Owens can do something tomorrow that completely fucks up everything else that she's trying to accomplish here, like literally. And that to me is going to be the most fascinating aspect of it. But if you look here again, just look at this, like look at her views. Okay, you can see them, like her max reach at this point, 2.7 million views 4 days ago. Erica Kirk tells me to stop. Tyler Robinson makes first appearance. Okay. And she's got like Erica Kirk goes off on conspiracy theorists, 2.7 million views, 1.9 million, 1.6 million, you know, all that stuff. And it's funny as shit because this is bigger. Tim Pool can't pull in these kind of views. I don't think Tucker Carlson can pull in these kind of views. Candace has somehow got everybody. Like, she's got everybody cooked. And it's like, it's so crazy. But if you think about it, like her thumbnails are well designed. They're very easy to make, you know? And it's just like funny as shit that she's doing as well as she is. And this is going 2.5 million, right? I mean, Charlie ripped a hole in reality. Why isn't the Trump family asking questions about Charlie Kirk? You know, breaking news, the Egyptian military was in Provo on 9/10. Right? Like, why would the Egyptians want to take out? Well, they're tight with the Israelis. So I mean, it's just like there's so much here. Let's see. Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is dying, I think, right? According to, I saw a thing the other day, Michaela Peterson said that he's back home now and he's like recovering from whatever the fuck happened. But it is kind of crazy. Well, I mean, there's no one who can even remotely like pull in the numbers. Did I hear about Daily Wire offering Daily Wire Plus memberships, Plus members lifetime memberships? Guess how much they're charging? I don't know. I haven't heard about that. Jordan got sick. I forget of what it was. Let me see. He got sick a while back. Let me see. All right, update health. Okay. This is from 6 days ago.
Guys, brief update on my dad.
Hold on.
Because I know a lot of you have reached out and asked and have been waiting for one, as have we, obviously. I don't have a lot to say because everything's been slow. He's still very unwell, but he's not in the hospital. I'm seeing him every day for hours, which is really nice. We're working with great specialists and giving him more time to recover. I'm hopeful he will recover with time. When I posted the last video, I didn't know if he would recover at all. It was really scary, and I'm hopeful now, but it's still early on and he's still quite unwell, and we're still really not sure what's going on, whether it's an immune system issue, neurological, both. So I wanted to give an update that was like, things are really bad, but they're not as bad as they were a month ago or 2 months ago. So that's the update. I wish things would just go back to normal, but they're not there yet. Thank you so much for your prayers. We need them. I'll let you guys know as soon as I can if anything changes. Hopefully he's on the road to recovery. As for me,
I don't care about you, Michaela. I'm sorry. I hope your dad pulls through. I don't like the guy, but I don't want him to die. I hope he pulls through. You know, let's see. Brett Cooper doing well for herself. I mean, Brett Cooper is, you know, she could, her split from Daily Wire definitely hurt her, but she's also a little bit too normie, I think. But she could probably carve out her own space, but I don't think Brett Cooper is ever going to be, without the backing of someone like Daily Wire. It's let's see here. I don't think she's going to really have it, you know. Hold on. I'm looking this up, Spherical Man. Okay. Oh my, wow. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, you weren't kidding. All right. So, cuz Spherical Man has talked about the daily and how did I lose connection to the show? Jesus. Okay. Tim Pool is dead, dude. Tim Pool, have you seen Tim Pool's channel? It's like fucking we'll take a look at it again, but it's not good. It's not good. What Brett Cooper sounds like Kermit or Michaela did. All right, so Daily Wire Plus lifetime membership. Claim one of only 10,000 lifetime memberships available, the backbone of our movement to help the Daily Wire ensure truth will outshine the lies. Right? It's like for one, who outside of Shapiro and Matt Walsh and Michael Noll, and Peterson, I can't tell you who any of these fuckers are. Right? So join for life. Here you go. What do you get? You get all access. Enjoy every all access benefit with no renewal fees ever. Get access 1 month before anybody else for the Pendragon cycle. Episodes 1 and 2 available on December 5th. Okay, so the Pendragon cycle, this is the big one. This is, if you guys don't know what the Pendragon cycle is, I'll show you guys we'll take a look at the trailer for it. So this is it Stephen Boring? Is that who it was? The guy who was in charge of Daily Wire alongside the guy who did Lady Ballers, right? The guy who wrote and directed Lady Ballers. He spent a lot of money acquiring the rights to the Pendragon cycle, wanting it to be like the next Game of Thrones and things like that. And who knows how it's going to be. Okay, future proof. As all access expands, every new feature is yours for life. First to know, early access to major announcements, a DW legacy pin. Receive your forward flag pin accented in 14K gold, reserved for only lifetime members. Collection edition, signed copy of Ben Shapiro's Lions and Scavengers. Priority support, skip the line. Shape the future, invitations to beta communities. I mean, dude, if you sign up to be a Daily Wire Plus member, you are a beta. Advanced screenings and feature testing to help define the Daily Wire roadmap. Stand for the next decade. Join us to build the future and ensure that the best is yet to come. Well, I mean, 1,500 times 10,000 is only $15 million. And that's what they want to hold them for the next fucking 10 years. I guarantee you they're spending way more money than that. Whatever happened to the crazy cute lady that liked to eat sticks of butter? Melanie Mack. As far as I know, Melanie Mack has kind of come back. But again, her shit's dead. Right? Like it's dying. Like this, you are just, look, 2026 is going to be a rough year for a lot of people. A lot of content creators who have been full-time for a while and are involved in this culture war shit. Yeah, it's going to be a rough year for them. Right? Like, I can't stress this enough. If you are a content creator and you are in this space, start looking for work. Start looking for a part-time job. Hit me up. I'll give you an Uber Eats referral code. How about that? I don't even do it anymore, but I'll fucking hook you up. Because it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. Who is Melanie Mack? Music Man? Oh man, brother. Oh, yeah, Melanie Mack. Oh, yeah. They have no Russian money. Well, no. Here's the thing. Is Daily Wire never got any of that Russian money. Right? It was Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and who else was it? Matt Christensen wasn't getting that kind of money, and there was another guy too. But you got to understand that the Russian money aspect of it is in Tim Pool's case maybe because he has a much larger compound and a much larger overhead. I don't think Benny Johnson is going to spend that much of his money outside of just Grindr memberships, but still. Speaking of lady ballers, they won't be releasing the movie on physical due to lack of interest. No shit, huh? No shit. Here's the thing. I wouldn't buy Lady Ballers. I think Lady Ballers, it was very much Jeremy Boring. That's the guy's name. I thought it had some really funny moments in it. It did. And it had an opportunity to kind of have the ending of a comedy like that, where there's like a moral that's learned, you know what I mean? And like, and to kind of turn itself into almost, I don't want to say a classic, but one that could be rewatched multiple times. And then Jeremy Boring just like shit the bed. Did I watch the Game Awards? No, not one bit. And I feel perfectly fine. I know Moist Critical made a video criticizing it. I saw that today, that he did that, and without mentioning once that he won Creator of the Year. So that's interesting. I don't know if that's a flag or not, right? Like, I don't know. Is that a flag, or I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. I think the Russians selected better talent. What are you talking about? Are you saying you think the Russians should have selected better talent? Is that what you're talking about? The Streamer Awards was a shit show. All those awards are shit shows. Okay. When it comes to the Game Awards, okay, like if I was home, I'd probably watch it. All right, I was at work, and I was really just waiting for like the trailers, like the new game trailers, or what was going to be interesting that was coming out. But the older I get, my primary interest in gaming is starting to dwindle. Not that I'm not a gamer, not that I don't like games. I've been working my way through the Avatar game now before the movie comes out, which I'm not going to get there in time, but still, it's pretty fun, actually. I mean, it's basically Far Cry with Avatar, but whatever. And I still love games, all that stuff. Like the next game I know for a fucking fact I'm buying full price is going to be Bond, because I love Hitman and everything. And so, but I don't care as much about these awards. I just think they're stupid, because it's really just a way to pay money and, to do the big annual event where they, bring out the influencers, they bring out the actors, they bring out the, whatever. And then they just, it's all marketing. And that's all it is. That's all it's ever been. And good on Jeff Keighley for making the money that he's made. Right? I mean, good on him for making the money that he's made. But it doesn't interest me as a gamer anymore. I don't care. I hate the Oscars, and I love movies, So none of that shit is even remotely interesting to me. And I think a lot of people have thought that as well, because from what I saw about the Game Awards, viewership was down and animosity was up. But then again, all that shit is usually pretty hated. Let's see. Daily Wire versus Russians. Russia had bigger creators. I don't even really know what you're trying to talk about there. Right? Like, I don't know what you're trying to talk about there. Like, the Daily Wire has got, Shapiro is the main draw. Then you have Matt Walsh underneath, and then maybe Michael Knowles, and then everybody else is just kind of there, because there's no Brett Cooper, no Candace Owens. They don't have any rising female stars. But I don't quite know what exactly you're trying to get at with that one. I mean, thank you for the super chat, but I'm trying to understand it. Music Man says, I didn't know that they were on. I mean, it was weird. It's kind of like the new Knives Out movie came out, right? The Wake Up Dead Man. I didn't even know that it was out. I forgot. Like, no one on my feed, in my Twitter or even on my Facebook. And I have a lot of friends who watch movies on Facebook. None of them were talking about it. None of them gave a shit. And it really goes to show you that, it's like, it just really goes to show you that, this stuff doesn't really track as much as people want it to. So that's, it's kind of an odd thing about where we are, I guess. I don't know. All right. What was I going to look at there? Oh yeah. I was going to do that Pendragon shit. All right. But I have to. Did I lose? I think I lost the sound for some reason. StreamYard is doing that today. Okay, so here we go. This is the Pendragon cycle. Okay, this is what will make or break Daily Wire. All right, like they need this to be Game of Thrones. Okay, Brolin might be becoming the next Jeff Bridges. What do you mean? So, Wake Up Dead Man has a Star Wars joke in it. Nice. I'm sure Wake Up Dead Man is good. The other Knives Out were very good movies. I don't have any doubt in my mind about that. What about Steven Crowder? Dude, no one gives a shit about Steven Crowder. Like, no one cares. Steven Crowder, again, these guys are like, they have their audience, and the audience is big, and they're not going to, like, go away overnight. But, like, they're not going to gain anything over time. Just the way he looks in the movie. He's getting up there. Right? He's getting up there. So, all right, this is what the Daily Wire is going to stake the future of their film studio. And look at the very first frame here. Now, is just bad costumes? Is this bad CG? What is this? I don't even know what this really is about. It's called the Pendragon Cycle: The Rise of Merlin.
All of this is an illusion, an echo of a voice that has died. And soon that echo will cease.
They say that Merlin is mad. They say he was a king in David, the son of a princess of lost Atlantis. They say the future and the past are known to him, that the fire and the wind tell him their secrets, that the magic of the hill folk and druids come forth at his easy command. They say he slew hundreds, do you hear? That the world burned and trembled at his wrath.
The Merlin died long before you and I were born.
Merlin Emrys has returned to the land of the living.
Vortigern is gone. Rome is gone. The Saxon is here.
Saxon Hengist has assembled the greatest war host ever seen in the Islands of the Mighty. And before the summer is through, he means to take the throne. And he will have it. If we are too busy squabbling amongst ourselves to take up arms against him, here is your hope. A king will arise to hold all Britain in his hand. A high king who will be the wonder of the world.
You. To a future of peace. There'll be no peace in these lands till we are all dust.
Men of the Island of the Mighty, you stand together. You stand as Britons. You stand as one.
Great darkness is falling upon this land. These brothers are our only hope to stand against it.
Not our only hope.
They say Merlin slew 70 men with his own hands. At Cathay, he slew 500.
No man is capable of such a thing.
No mortal man.
So it's a 7-part series, right? Only on Daily Wire Plus. Here's my problem with that, right? Here's my big concern. Why they need to stop, very much need to stop trying to film fantasy through a straight high definition digital framework. Like, if you're not going to find a way to use the lenses that can mimic filmic look, like film grain and things like that, then like don't do it. Because the biggest complaint I had with that is it looked too goddamn clean. It just looked too goddamn clean. Not that it needed to be shot with like, you know, fucking 35 millimeter cameras. Obviously, that's too expensive. But there are ways to make it look better. it looked cheap. And I think that had a lot to do with the budget. They were trying to keep the budget down. The CG looked pretty bad, historically inaccurate. Well, yeah. Isn't Daily Wire a Christian organization? No, if anything, Daily Wire would be a Jewish organization. And that has everything to do with Shapiro. Command Unit here says, not gonna lie, it looks better with AI. Yeah, I thought so too. I really did. I thought so too. I was watching like the scene of like the siege of the city, and I'm like, you could see the CG is kind of weak, and I'm like, yeah, AI would make that look a lot better. They could probably put that into like one of the one of the models and like get it to look something more in line with the style they're going for. Tony here says, I used to like Sword and Sandals movies, but they just come off so boring now. Well, the thing with Sword and Sandals films is like they have to look dirty, right? Like Sword and Sandal, the films came from the time, like we're talking like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? Like, if you look at, like it really is just about like how you shoot them. Because I love Sword and Sandal films, but they have to, depending on the kind of movies they are and the way that they're shot and everything else. Let's see. This is here. Thank you for the 5. Right now, Netflix, Amazon, and Apple are the top streamers. Isn't Disney? Disney's got like 200 million subs, doesn't it? Somewhere in there. I don't know, man. It's like those companies, though. You got to remember those companies are like they're all gonna be having some bleeding, some gaining, some here and there. It just depends. But as they continue to increase the prices, we're going to start seeing more and more, people kind of like pick and choose, right? Like I got rid of Disney Plus back in August, and I haven't really missed it. And my kids aren't asking for it either. If they want to watch Bluey, they can just go on YouTube and watch Bluey. So it is kind of at that point now where, people are just going to pick and choose what they want, and this is going to be like the cheapest price wins, which is why I like Tubi. Let's see. You sent me a trailer on Discord. All right, what did you send me? Total Warhammer. Okay. I'll come back to that one because that's just like kind of. I don't really feel like watching that one right now. But we'll do that by the end. Let's see. Disney's doing okay, but it can't reach Netflix, Amazon, and Apple numbers. I mean, I think when they fully integrate Hulu into it next year, it's going to boost it up quite a bit, but it's still having the issues, that they need killer content. They need that killer content. So, Spherical Man here says, out of all the streamers, Apple is the one I refuse to give any money to. Why is that? Netflix has the highest due to legacy. That's very true. Garrick here says Ridley Scott's Sword and Sandal movies always look amazing. For instance, dude, even though like the plot of Gladiator 2 got kind of fucking dumb at the very end of the movie, I didn't care for the very last like bit of that film. Like you could stop the movie after Denzel dies and then like that's it. But whatever they did at the end there just kind of made like, I don't know, like no fucking sense. And I feel like there's a longer cut of Gladiator 2 that might fill in some of the gaps, but it did look very good. But then again, the cinematographer was like, they shot from like 12 different camera angles. Like they're shooting so much coverage to be able to bring everything together. And that's really interesting. And then I also thought it was really funny how in Gladiator 2, they very much tried to tie in like that Maximus was Lucius's dad, and then like there was this whole line about basically how like his mom was like a teenage whore. And like that was how they tied it together. So he dies, spoilers. Shut the fuck up. He's the villain. I will not give the evil empire any of my money. All right, that's pretty good. Let's see here. I started Gladiator 2 5 minutes and I turned it off. Why is that? The opening was pretty good. Let's see here. Garrick for 5. Thank you. Says, I know Netflix has lots of money, but can they really fend off the money of both the Ellisons and Saudi Arabia? Well, okay. So it's gonna, and again, I have very limited financial knowledge. So this is just my opinion based upon what I know. And I could very much be wrong. Just want to put that out there. the amount of money Netflix stock is worth is far more than what the Saudis can offer at the end of the day. Right? Like Netflix like Saudis have, like, they can offer an upfront cost, an upfront payout, but it may not be good enough. Now, I think here's what I think is going to happen. I think because Netflix was, like, their whole idea there was to wait for the separation of Warner Brothers from Discovery. So you had the movie and TV production side of things, and then you've got the cable side of things. When that splits, Netflix doesn't want the Discovery Channel. They don't want any of that content. They don't care. And so they're not interested in that. But the Ellisons want CNN. The Ellisons want TNT. They want those networks. But David Ellison wants Warner Brothers, right? Like Larry Ellison, would look at this through the lens of, like, I need the means of information, right? I need those broadcasters. I need that to be able to push these narratives. The son is like, I just want all the toys in my toolbox. That's it. Like, I want to own, I already own Ninja Turtles. Now I want to own Batman, and I want to put them together. He's like a child with a toy box made up of cartoon show toys from the 1980s. That's who David Ellison ultimately is, in my opinion. And so even going to the Saudis and trying to get all of that, Netflix is still better equipped to pay out the shareholders probably ultimately more money. Now, the bid, the $82 billion bid that Warner's agreed to, like, Netflix might have to up the bid in order to match the $108 billion that the Ellisons are coming in with. But, Netflix is, I think, going to get the movie side. And I think that Paramount is going to end up getting the TV side. That's what I think is going to happen, because Netflix doesn't want the TV side of things. David Zaslav either way is going to walk away a fucking mega billionaire and shit, and that's going to be it. But, like, I don't see, it doesn't seem at this point like the fervor over it has kind of continued. All the guilds got real mad at Netflix wanting to buy it. But when Paramount came in with the hostile takeover idea, not one of them said a fucking word. So fuck the guilds, in my opinion, because we already know where their loyalties lie. And I'm sorry, like, Netflix, love them or fucking hate them, is keeping a large amount of Hollywood afloat. All right, like they are subsidizing a lot of Hollywood. And yes, all the streamers are making their own movies and making their own shows, and they are all doing that. But Netflix has been doing this for years, showed that the business model can work, all of that stuff. And I'm fucking, like, people in the industry need to fucking realize where things stand. I mean, like, I was talking with Little Movie Perp today, and he was telling me how it's looking kind of bleak right now because the studio system is, I think, to some extent failing. The theatrical experience is dwindling. Movies are in theaters now for lesser time. And, people are going to go spend money for Avatar and other big name movies. But the second movie this year to hit $1 billion was fucking Zootopia 2. Right? None of the superhero movies even came close to hitting $1 billion. Right? Like, it's just the only two films this year were fucking Lilo and Stitch, a mid-level live action remake, and Zootopia 2. Two Disney movies are the ones that cracked $1 billion. And then the third Disney movie that's going to easily hit $2 billion is Avatar. So it's like, Hollywood cannot compete with itself. And so what they need to do is focus more, I think, on maybe not movies, maybe TV shows, because those can raise the value of a network, of a streaming network, far greater than a movie can. K-pop Demon Hunters, was very much one of those, I don't want to say a flash in the pan, right? But it was completely unexpected. It was an organic thing that is awesome, because I love K-pop Demon Hunters. So it was very organic, and that's hard to come by. And now everyone's going to try to replicate that because of how successful it was. So Let's see. Do you remember that Campia IG post I sent you in the wake of Netflix deal where Campia just glazed Zaslav? Well, Campia's always glazed David Zaslav. I mean, like if John Campia could fill, you know, his Tim Hortons fucking donut with David Zaslav nutter butter, he would. All right, like he absolutely fucking would. And and that just goes to show you that Campia is very much a conservative. All right. And it's not even like David Zaslav has done like very well. And Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca did very well. After, when their movies started coming on out versus what was in the pocket from before, and it was really funny because after Mickey 17 bombed, remember Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca were on the chopping block. If Minecraft failed, they were going to be out of jobs. And then Minecraft did very well. Sinners did okay. Didn't do as good as the people say that it did, but, it did well domestically. And then, you had Final Destination and Superman and Conjuring and other movies as well. So they showed that they could make it work. But yeah, Campia is Campia. Can he just fucking retire, please? Can he just go the fuck away? Wouldn't that be nice if Campia just went the fuck away? I'd be very happy if John Campia went away. Daily Wire needs to learn from Russia how to hire talent. Oh, you just throw millions and millions of dollars at them. But you have to understand, comedian, Russia going through Tenant Media to get Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, Benny Johnson, Matt Christensen, that other guy, whatever, roaming millennial, whatever. They did not want them for their talent. You have to understand that. The entire goal of what the two Russia Today employees were doing was they wanted to use those content creators who had millions of subscribers and probably fed into different markets, right? They were very similar. There's a lot of overlap, but they also kind of reached different people. And then what they were doing is they were trying to establish a massive reach on YouTube, as well as TikTok, as well as Instagram, not for long form video content, which is why the content that even Dave Rubin was putting out where he was reacting to viral videos was just dumb. He's getting $100,000 a week for something that is so stupid, anyone can do. So why did they want that? They wanted it so they could have access to those people to help push virality through YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram Reels. That's what they wanted. The name of the game there was investing all of that money to build up an audience of those people who like short form vertical content. The long form was just meant to get those fans of those people over to subscribe. So then they could use the short form reels to really spread the messaging, spread the propaganda. That was the intent. That was the whole kitchen caboodle point of Tenet Media. So there you go. Let's see here. But Critical Drinker says TV sucks now. Oh, Critical Drinker says a lot of things that we know are just bullshit. Campio went off on Trump for the comments he made about Rob Reiner. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I think anyone with any sense of decency would do that. So the only real TV show that's been doing well lately is Yellowstone, and it's being adapted into a TV show sequels and spinoffs. You mean for network television? Yeah, network television. If you want to say, well, you can't even network. I mean, well, I don't even know if you could really make the argument that did they put Yellowstone on CBS? I don't know if they did. I know Yellowstone and its spinoffs are very popular. And then Tyler Sheridan going over to Netflix is interesting. But then it also makes me wonder if David Ellison wanted Warner Brothers because of the Tyler Sheridan deal. That's a question. Critical Drinker's voice sounds like he has a dick in his mouth. Yeah, kind of. Maybe Daily Wire should make their own MCU at the Rippaverse. I could see the Rippaverse teaming up with Daily Wire if they had the infrastructure to do it. But I don't know necessarily if Eric July would want to get in with them, right? Because I do think that a lot of Rippaverse fans would be very much against working with the Jews. any kind of Jewish organization, you would see that a lot of them would come out and make the comments like, like, oh, Rippaverse is now just, Zionist slop or whatever. I could see that happening. Rational for 5, thank you, buddy. Says Israel and Saudi Arabia also pay content creators, but the DOJ doesn't say anything because both countries have powerful lobbyists in Washington. Yeah, but okay, but which content creators? Like you make the okay. I'm not saying I disagree with you, Rational, but if you're saying that Israel and Saudi also pay content creators, which ones? Who are they? That I would like to know that. I think that would be good. Be good to know because I don't know. I don't know who the fuck they are. I don't know what's going on with that shit. Right. Let me see if I missed any. If I missed any super chats here, you guys have been very supportive today. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. All right. And let me see. But no, okay. Yellowstone was on CBS. Okay. I don't have network television, so I don't watch network television at all. Let's see. Zachary Levi gets back into the superhero game by being in a Rippaverse movie. I mean, that would happen. Could you imagine if Paramount gets Warner Brothers and then all of a sudden they go, we're announcing we are announcing that fucking Zachary Levi is back, cause here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with, dude, I'm telling you, if Ellison, it seems like the guilds and they're in by Hollywood and kind of Hollywood, is more interested in having Warner Brothers bought by Paramount rather than Netflix. And I find that to be really, really interesting. But I could also see if Ellison's got it, again, David Ellison seems like the kind of guy that just wants to play in the IP sandbox. Well, what's the biggest IP that Warner Brothers has? It's fucking DC, right? So, even James Gunn seems kind of like unsure if he's going to have a job after 2027. You know what I mean? So it's like after Man of Tomorrow comes out. And so you've got like this whole situation where I could see David Ellison going in there and not renewing the contracts for James Gunn, Peter Safran, and DC Studios, and then completely canceling everything they're working on, and then calling up Henry Cavill and bringing Henry Cavill back. Because I could see that actually happening. I could see them going because look, here's the thing. If there is a power schism with DC, and there hasn't been a power schism now for 3 years, okay, but if there's a power schism at DC, who's the number one person do you think is going to come roaring in trying to fucking make it work? Right? I want you guys to actually guess. Who do you think is going to be rearing their head, throwing their hat in the ring in order to try to come on in and take over DC? Right? Because I'm telling you guys right now, it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He would make another attempt at it because they could make the argument that Black Adam, 3 weeks, #1 at the box office, right? Superman never spent 3 weeks #1 at the box office. That it probably, that it's, they can make the lower budget, they could bring in other people, do whatever, and then bring back Henry Cavill. And I think that would be a thing because if you look at the amount of ticket sales compared between Man of Steel and Superman, Man of Steel got a lot more ticket sales at a lot cheaper of a box office price, ticket price on average than Superman did, and so more people saw Man of Steel in theaters. Now, granted, 2013, there wasn't as fast of a turnaround for home video, but still, you look at the amount of money earned and you look at the amount of tickets sold and especially home video sales and everything else. We can look at how much money Man of Steel made, at least through home video sales. It was very profitable for Warner Brothers. And, and Superman 2025 was also very profitable for Warner Brothers. But how many fans do you know would lose their shit over Henry Cavill versus how many fans would lose their shit over David Corenswet? Now, I don't think they should do that. I'm not advocating for it. I'm saying it's like if you wanted to appeal to more of that maybe libertarian right-wing base, you would want to go and get back, the way that, you know, Zack Snyder bring him back into the fold sort of thing. And under new leadership, especially under like the Ellisons, you know, there's a possibility that they'd want to back him over someone like James Gunn. You know, so here's the thing with that. If I were James Gunn, looking at the broad aspects of what might be happening in the next couple of years, I would immediately reach out to Zack Snyder, and I would immediately offer Zack Snyder the authority and have it be a James Gunn script, and James Gunn will produce it, Zack Snyder will film it, and you get the best of both worlds. Now, the reason why I say that is because it would then allow for the merging of those fan groups and maybe a bit of a diffusion, right? Like, we can't bring back Henry Cavill, we can't bring back the Snyderverse, but we can get Zack to put his spin, his mark on the authority, you know, which is more of dark, violent Watchmen type stuff. That would work. And I think that's something they should try to do. Recapture the glory of Watchmen and the legacy of Watchmen, because that has become a classic, rather than trying to recreate the Snyderverse stuff, because that's never coming back unless they get into it in the next like year or two. And even then, I don't see it happening. Emily Saves America was one of the content creators being paid $7,000 a month. It's crazy. Let's see here. Wait, can I get paid $7,000 a month to be pro Israel? I'd be okay with that. I would tell y'all, like, look, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paper. Look at me now. Look at me now. Whoa, whoa. Mostly because I'd like to pay off my car. I like to pay off, you know, my house. I like to pay off my bills. I'd like to take my kids on more vacations. You know, like I'm a hustler. Become it was already a classic when it came out in 2008. Well, here's the thing with that, Mo. It came out in 2009. It opened early March 2009. You jackass. And it's become. I think it's become like the director's cut has become more of a classic, right? Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund bought EA. Yeah, let's see how that turns out. Let's see here. Okay, Command Unit says, I mean, they could easily do a multiverse thing. The multiverse thing is not going to work. We have to understand at this point that, like, Marvel has basically, like, Marvel and DC both killed the multiverse, which is why Marvel is giving us big movies to end the multiverse. You know, like that's why we're getting Doomsday and we're getting Secret Wars to end the multiverse, because they've already shown that it's hard to do. It's not working outside of a couple ways. And even DC tried it, and it's like not working very well either. Jared Kushner also took $1 billion from Saudi Arabia. Didn't he take it from Qatar? Or Qatar, whatever it's called. Man, I got these, what are they called? The Kirkland vitamin water, like 0 sugar. Super good. The multiverse will never end. No, Saudi Arabia. No. But he took like money from Qatar too. Like, not recently, but he took money from Qatar. So you already are, according to Mo Moon. I'm already what? I'm already paid by Israel, according to Mo. Oh, right, because you live, because you're paying in shekels. That's right. Although, I mean, to be fair, you know, I mean, I could sit there and I could drop the voice. I could be like, you know, Command Unit tells me that I must be, pro-Israel. Yeah, guys, yeah. Great people, Israel, Tel Aviv, and chosen people. Wall of Sirens, whatever the thing is called. Was it called the Wall of what? Not the Wall of Wailing. Is it the Wall of Wailing? Where do I know that from? I know nothing about Israel. Just want to make that abundantly clear. I know nothing. So I don't talk about I don't like them blowing up Gaza and shit. Other than that, I don't think I know much of anything. So, you know, the Saudi is putting money into many Americans' products. Yeah. Anything you missed tonight? Everything. Everything, Parallax. Everything. Let's see. Matt also uses an opal glass to see what's going on in the offices of DC. It's not an opal glass. It was an obsidian mirror. That's what it was. It was an obsidian mirror. And that's an old deep cut, Spherical Man. That's great. That's an old deep cut. Crazy as shit. Oh my God. The fucking Doomcock, man. I can't believe, is he still around? I know he's still around. Like he would never go, but he's got to also be fucking feeling it, right? Let me see here. Okay. Well, he's got 371,000 followers now. Let's see. What is he doing? Let me bring this up. All right. So, Overlord's DVD. All right. We haven't talked about Doomcock in a long time. But look at this here. In 7 days, he's only gotten 66,000, 67,000 views. So, not as much as other people. All right. What do we got? Disney suffers epic opening. What was this? Epic opening weekend bomb. Hollywood. What movie? What opened? What opened this weekend? That was Disney. Did I miss something? I haven't even really paid attention. I haven't even paid attention to what's going on. Let's see. Okay. Right. Ella McKay. That's what it was. James L. Brooks. The movie bombed at the box office. Okay. But Zootopia 2 became number 1 again. It's like, what the fuck? All right. So here's what he's talking about here, right? Hollywood freaks out as failures mount. It was one low budget movie done by James L. Brooks. Okay. He hasn't done a movie in forever. Doomcock exclusive. Look at how far, Trek has fallen. Again, they're kind of going back to the same thing there. GQ's Man of the Year cover is an outrage. What is GQ's Man of the Year? What is GQ's Man of the Year cover? Let me see. GQ Man of the Year 2025. All right, who is it? GQ's Man of the Year is I don't know. Hold on. Is it Man of the Year or is it Men of the Year? I don't know. It's I think there's black people in it. So that's gonna piss off Doomcock. Yeah. I guess Oscar Isaac, Pierce Brosnan. You have Al-Shami from the Middle East. Turkey had Nigerian footballer Victor Osimhen. I fucked that one up. India has other cultural influencers, I guess. But there's brown and black people in there. So, yeah, Doomcock is not happy. Let's see. Supergirl trailer review. Right. Do you want the good news or the bad news? I mean, look at this. Look at this title here. Here's my reaction. That's so long. It's 100 characters. Can Hollywood be saved from Netflix and itself? Considering that, the Paramount bid is the worst thing. It's just, again, all this shit, right? But he's still pulling in, his videos. His videos are fewer now than they were. All right. They're fewer now than they were. So he does a video, what appears to be every 2 to 3 days. I'm assuming, unless there's probably more to talk about. As soon as we get the Doomsday stuff, they'll be all over that. Right. But even 1 month ago, Happy Halloween, everyone. He's barely posted. I mean, for his channel, that's not a lot. So, and these are still not pulling in that much compared to the 371,000. But what are his lives looking like here? So, I mean, we can't see the lives because, he's got arch villains assemble and he puts it all behind a fucking paywall. So, that's all he can do. But again, even these aren't that much. 5 months ago, 4 months ago, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago. So what is he doing? because you figure this is a guy that used to put out content every single day. And now we have about 2 uploads per week on average. You know, and his average monthly earnings are somewhere in between 1,000 and, you know, so you're seeing 346 and 1,000. Split the diff between that, you're looking at maybe like $700, $800 a month. You know, so he's not pulling. He's still getting some money, but it may be a bit more probably. But he's still like not doing as much as he could, unless, you know, these channel member videos are doing pretty good. But there's no way to get the data on that because we can't see them. So it's just like, you know, it's Doomcock running the same old shit, but the stick is dying. Doesn't he blame Israel for John Cena? What the fuck are you talking about? At least everyone is doing better than Sydney Sweeney's film career. Sydney Sweeney will be fine. Sydney Sweeney will be fine. The Ella McKay looked like a Lifetime movie. It didn't look like anything really like that important. So I wasn't too worried about that. Jess here says, got my Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow hardcover edition. Yeah, I saw you posted that in the Discord. Nice. I'm going to read it after I see the movie. So, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I just want to go into like no preconceived notions and shit. So yeah, like there's that. But all right. One thing I want to show you guys tonight, because we are going to do a little bit of AI stuff. I'm so sorry. Is this is pretty fucking dope. All right. So this guy wanted to push a couple models to the limit. And so he created an anime that is Marvel. It's Spider-Man, Carnage, and Venom. And honestly, it's pretty base. I showed this on Little Movie Perp stream earlier. I don't know if they watched the whole thing or not. But it gives you an idea of like what people are going to be able to do, what creativity people are going to be able to do with this. And again, you may not like it, but this took a lot of work. This wasn't just a one and done sort of thing. There's actual sound design in this as well. And so it sounds pretty good. And yeah, this is definitely a work of art.
ここに座るなら何かご注文をお願いしてもよろしいですか？何かお持ちしましょうか？へえ、お前ら全員死ね。ピーター、大丈夫？どうしてもこの感覚が拭えない。何か恐ろしいことが起きそうな気がして。本当に今夜行かなきゃいけないの？頑張れ、タイガー。
We got a 34 coming over at the intersection of Jennings Street and Prospect Avenue. By to the job, it's advising male assaulted, 6 hours panic to male black. Took tools from the victim. あれは一体何なんだ？引き起こせ！
これはマジで最高に楽しい。
All
何なんだよ。見た目はベノムなのに動きがまるで別物じゃねえか。ベノム。悪い夢だよな。あいつら化け物だ。本当の怪物と戦ってるんじゃないか、俺。
So yeah, that was yeah, right? Goddamn, this is good. Yeah. Like, this is really fucking good. This is really fucking good. I think the guy who did this did an amazing job on it. And like, you know, I want to know like how the fuck he did it. So what I love though is I'll show you guys the fucking what's it called? The comments afterward. It's so funny. Like, Twitter is such fucking full of just Luddites, right? This guy here says, this is good. You know, thanks. Man, this shit sucks. Just draw like a real artist, like an real artist. I'm not a real artist. You know, I'm currently teaching a motion graphics and animation class, and I'm definitely showing this to my students today. Empower them with the tools of the future, which is a very, very good message to have. You know, this is literally maximum carnage. Bravo. The comics give you everything you need. Let's see. Are you a team or just one person, one guy? The future is here. And that to me has me like really interested. Here's look at this one. Oh, it's AI. For a second, I thought someone put actual effort into it. Yeah, go ahead and try it. I dare you. And right there, that's how you basically shut them the fuck down. It's like, this is an art. Okay, well then you do it. There you go. Like, you know, it's look at this here. My dude, this is AI, man. I'm sorry, but this ain't it, right? Like, but who, like, you just gotta look at some of these people here. You know, it's just, again, a lot of these guys are more or less the same kind of people as RJ. Sorry, Snorlax. You know, like, right, you could do a handmade version of this instead of using AI to make this, though. Can you do it either? I'm kind of curious what he says. Ratio failed. It's like, again, that's not even a fucking response. Right? It's like, can you do this? Ratio. Again, it's very funny to me. It says here, I have yet to find reliable. Okay, talking about the VO, right? The VO is okay. It says here, I have yet to find reliable translation service. I'll try to hire voice actors next time because I'm too tired of it. I mean, and that is honestly something that is going to be the biggest draw. That's going to be one of the biggest things with the AI. Anything that's being made is you're going to want to have actual voice actors to do it because that gives the realism part of it. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. I was like, this looks like dog shit. It's like, what's fucking, it's so interesting that he put together a 3-minute compelling maximum carnage short. It is just a lot of sour grapes. Yeah, it is just a lot of sour grapes. It is people who will generally like, where's Donovan's comment or Brandon's? Let's see. I did quote tweet. Let me see if I can find the quote tweets here. Post engagements. Mine should pop up. At some point. The quote tweets are like fucking are crazy. Look at this guy here. This is not a fan film. To be a fan film, it has to be made by a fan. This is AI generated garbage. Like, dude, like, who is this guy? The Green Casey? You know, it's just like, oh, it's a chick, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's like, it's simply a very interesting thing they put together. But Donovan did respond to it. I'll have to go and find. Donovan's been pretty funny, by the way. I fucked with him by unblocking him, and he's like, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with this, right? So like Donovan, he keeps responding, right? I called him a simp, and he goes, what does simp have anything to do with you? Funny you still haven't blocked me. And I'm like, because it's funnier this way. You keep proving my point over and over again. Your every waking moment is spent thinking about me. You can't stop. Here's an image to keep you company. I just made that on my phone while I was fucking sitting bored. Because, I mean, like, seriously, though, look, like Donovan here. I'll just show you what I'm talking about here, right? Okay. Look at, like, again, 2 hours ago. Fucking Donovan. Right? calling Slav to fucking like take this on. James Gunn likes to lie about DC projects to keep people in the dark. He's openly admitted that. His job is to protect the sanctity of the story. All right. Here we go. Look, Donovan. I'll show you guys this, right? So Donovan keeps responding. He blocked me last night, right? He got mad at me because he got called out. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. But just look at like all of these Donovan posts. Right? This is because I unblocked him. This is because I unblocked Donovan. And he kept fucking here's his comment from yesterday. Still looks like trash. Right? So kind of curious here. The view post engagements. Oh yeah. Okay, because he did. I want to show you guys this. So because Donovan's a moron, right? Like he's literally a moron. We know he's a moron. He can't help himself from being a moron. Okay. He just has to fucking always get ratioed. And so what happened was, there was a, let's see, trying to find the actual response to it because there's a lot there. I think it's up here. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, all right. So the other day, Donovan got into it with Bo DeMeo, right? Bo DeMeo was the executive producer, creator of X-Men 97. All right. And, like he had his issues and everything else. Okay. So they got into it on the other day because Donovan responded to him saying, yeah, people came out in droves for Superman. And when we saw this iteration of Kara for the first time, she instantly connected with the audience and literally became a viral sensation overnight because she was drunk. That's kind of why. But he says, incorrect. This is all nonsense and spin. And I like the movie adjusted for inflation domestic. All right. Superman 1978 was like 618 million. Superman 2, 440 million. Man of Steel, 404. Superman 2025, 354. Okay. Again, track trends. It barely beat out Superman Returns, a movie most fans despise. So that's kind of the argument that he's making. And I agree with the whole idea of you cannot adjust for inflation. I agree with that concept. I've made that argument multiple times. So then he comes back literally with the fucking kill shot. Superman sold back in 78, sold 57.5 million tickets. Okay. Man of Steel sold 35.8 million tickets. And Superman from this year sold only 30.8 tickets. So Man of Steel still had 5 million more tickets sold. All right. And so then I said, you literally cannot give Donovan data. He doesn't understand it. And okay, but the thing is though, look at this here, right? This is a ratio, hardcore ratio. Donovan got 17 likes. Bo here got 457, a lot more comments, right? Obviously the ratio against Donovan. So then I just said here, you cannot give Donovan data. Okay. And then, he gets all pissy and he gets mad, about all this. At least I'm fact-based on the subject matter of Gen AI. Okay. Keep in mind, we're talking about Superman tickets here, not related to AI, not related to anything. All right. And so I'm like, you can't give him data. He doesn't understand it. Comes back with, no, AI bad. All right. And then he's just like, and upper echelon is not even a person that I consider to be a source of anything, but this is all he's got. And literally just keeps going and going and going and going. I'm just trying to find, again, like I called out like, oh no, here we go. When he called out the Spider-Man thing I just showed you guys, I'm like, don't be salty because he got ratioed hard by the guy who created X-Men 97. All right. And then he comes back with like, I'm not mad because this guy's now a grifter. And that's all he can do is just like all he can do is just kind of switch the subject, move the goalpost, blah, blah, blah. But one of these comments, I'm trying to find it. He got really upset about the dog pile, right? Like that people dogpiled on him over everything. But as you can see here, he was just like, again, okay, look at this one here, right? Okay, you cannot, okay, like I said, what's so funny is that you cannot not comment, screenshot, etc. You're obsessed with me is kind of scary. Okay. And then again, look, I didn't even respond to that. And he's all like, I give commentary about him, but like he does it to me, but he doesn't understand that shit. And then I also made fun of him. Oh yeah, this one here. I said, I really want to play Dispatch. If anyone wants to gift it to me over Steam, it'd make my day. Okay. And I said, this explained Donovan so much. He's lonely and has no friends or income, so he lashes out on social media for any attention he can get. He is the pinnacle of the male loneliness epidemic. Very sad. And then he's all like, and by the way, I was gifted the game, which just completely proved my point. This is not Nihilus. He's one of the guys that would spaz out about AI. There's also Brandon. And I was on Perp stream earlier tonight for like 20 minutes, and Brandon was just in the chat, like just bam, 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 like just going off. It was so fucking funny. It's so crazy. Like these guys are like, they lose their shit. They just lose their shit. Yeah, it is obvious about that Spider-Man thing. People are just jealous because it's fucking cool, man. You know, it's fucking cool. Like the guy, not only did that guy push a couple of models to their limits, but he also did some pretty decent sound design. Now, is it perfect? Like, no, it goes from loud to then like no background sound, no ambient noise whatsoever inside of Peter's apartment. And there should have been something back there, some kind of like refrigerator hum, electronic buzz, something to kind of give it room tone. Sorry, my throat was really dry. Something along those lines would have absolutely given it way more. But other than that, yeah, I mean, there were inconsistencies in the visuals, but even though there were inconsistencies in the visuals, as the story began to pick up speed and as it started to coming together, that mattered less and less and less and less and less. Right. And if you watch, if you read comics, usually the first, second issue have all the best artwork, and then as the story progresses, the artwork gets progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. And that's true, it does. In many cases, the artwork will get, I don't want to say lazier, but like less defined as the series progresses. So, it's all that kind of stuff. Let's see. If the creator didn't say that it was AI and he said he drew it, people would say it looks great. But because it's AI, they say it looks bad. Basically, is what it boils down to, yeah. Let's see. I will say that it's great that Brandon isn't here lately. I think it finally got through his thick skull after what happened the other night. Okay, so the thing with that is, Brandon told me today, he said this in Perp Stream. He says that he's like, Matt, my mom is going to give you a piece of your mind. And I was all like, she has my number. She can give me a call. She does. She has my number. She can give me a call. Let me see. Did I get a phone call or a text message from his mother? I have not gotten a call or a text message from his mother. I'm just checking right now. I ain't got shit from his mom. So that's why it's really funny, because he just talks all that trash. And you know what? Like, again, I think people should very much kind of just let him, a lot of these guys are just kind of, look, man, they're lonely. Like, they're lonely, they're sad. That's all it is. They're lonely and they're sad. Let's see here. Fallout. Oh, hey, does Fallout drop? Oh shit, Fallout drops tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Fuck yes. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. it drops. The first episode. Oh man, nice. Can't wait. Okay, so how much money do you think, or who wants to bet on HBart switching up his Twitter account to being about Ella Purnell in Fallout? Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited for Fallout. I can't wait. I will make sure not to watch it. Why? Let's see. I bet it will be Brandon calling you using a Monty Python style of a woman's voice pretending to be his mom. The thing is, I have spoken to his mom. So, I have spoken to his mom. Didn't I say his mom was crazy too? No. Donovan's mom is crazy too. Brandon's mom is tired and at her wit's end with her son. That's what she's up to. Like, that's why she's upset. She's very tired You know, and the thing is, again, to be sympathetic, you know, like if you have a child that has autism, like Brandon does, and he is the kind of person that like gets worked up and ends up getting, you know, really kind of upset at everything, and you can't really control him at night because he'll just like wait for you to go to bed and then go and like, you know, like use your computer or use his laptop when like no one's looking, and you know, do all that kind of stuff. She can't control him because, you know, he's over 30. So there's only so much she's going to be able to do. And yet, unfortunately, you know, she's just kind of at her wit's end. And that's sad. I feel really bad for his mom. You know, I do. I feel really, really, really bad for his mom. And you know, there's not really anything anyone can do about it. You know, she is doing the best that she can for her son. You know, and I have nothing but sympathy for her. I mean, I might make jokes, but at the end of the day, I really do just have a lot of sympathy for his mom, because I don't know what I would do if I had a child that was that much of a fucking asshole, right? If I had a child, my daughters, man, like they are fun. They, you know, they have great attitudes. They're always, you know, willing to help people. They always want to, you know, just go and do stuff that's chill. And they like, you know, and then I look at Brandon and I'm all like, man, like, you know, it's got to be really difficult for his mom. And that's kind of the key thing we have to remember here is that, you know, like, you know, she's got the, you know, she's got the job of trying to raise an autistic son who is going to do everything in his power to not listen, you know, because he has so much, because there's trouble there. There's trouble there, you know, in regards to, everything, you know, like the way that his brain works. And so it's not his fault, but it's like, you know, we all have to kind of deal with it, unfortunately. I feel bad. I do. I feel bad for his mom. So, you know, there you go. All right. Have I tried to win him over with kindness? It's not, you can't win him over. No. Okay, real quick. I'll get back to you, community. The thing is, okay, actually, it kind of goes together. So Brandon, the thing with Brandon is that like he would come on in and he just like, if I mention animation, right? Like let's say like I said Paw Patrol is a kid's movie, you know, because it like whatever, and he'll be like, animations for everyone. Like, yeah, okay, fine, it is, but this is a kid's movie. This is made for kids. No, animations for everyone. Like, yeah, but it's like, but you have to acknowledge that this is a kid's movie. No, animation is for everyone. Animations for everyone. And he would just get like obsessed over it. And then what would happen is like, we're like, okay, dude, like whatever, fine. Like calm down, right? And so we were like really chill with him for a while. You know, understanding he has autism, understanding that he's obsessive about animation, he doesn't like AI, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And as it progressed, he started sending messages to like Saggy. He started sending messages to, I think, Parallax. He sent messages to like a lot of other people. He would DM them on Twitter, DM them on Facebook, DM them on Instagram. You know, he would go to their videos on YouTube and like leave comments about me. And it's like, he has to just get this out of his system. You know what I mean? Like he is so obsessed about it that he just gets fucking incredibly like obsessed. And I'm like, dude, you got like, this has got to stop. All right. Like you cannot harass other people if you don't like my opinion. And that's kind of the whole point is he's just like, he didn't stop. And I'm like, I looked him up and I said, all right, man, I found your mom. I'm going to call your mom. I told him this. It wasn't like I did it out of the blue. I told him, I warned him repeatedly. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then I sent his mom a direct message on Facebook. And I told him that I sent his mom a message on Facebook. So he ran down to either her computer or grabbed her phone and then deleted the message. Or no, he said something. It was what was it? It was he said like it was some he wrote about it, and you know that it was him. Right? Like that it was him. I'm trying to find the message. Here we go. Okay. All right. So I'll just say here, I'm not going to show the mom's name. Okay. All right. But let me see if I can bring this up. It's going to be like fucking what the hell? It's so okay. I can't show it to you because it's in my fucking screenshot thing. So okay. All right. Hold on. I'm really trying to let's see. Where can I share the screen? Hold on. All right, share screen. Where is that at? Window. There we go. Okay. Hold on. All right. Okay, so you can see here. There we go. This is what he says, right? He says, and this is going to be completely pixelated for some reason. Oh, God. If you snag it, I like snag it, but it just gets to be kind of frustrating. All right, it says here, you need to leave my son alone. You stole a photo that doesn't belong to you. This is not the way his mom talks. This is Brandon pretending to be his mother. All right, like pretending to be his mom in response to this after he blocked me. And so the thing is that the mom had her number on her Facebook page. So I fucking called the mom and I was like, this is what's going on. And his mom knows who I am, right? She's definitely heard of me, and all that stuff. And so then I'm like, all right, man, I'm like, what do you, I'm like, I just want to say look, I'm sorry to call you, but I'm trying to call you about your son. And she tells me, she's like, yeah, she's like, I know. She's like, she's like, I know, basically, I'm not saying that she didn't come out and say my son's an asshole, but she more or less implied that her son's an asshole. And that is not, that's not my fucking fault. I'm trying to get him to, if he wants to come at me, I'm okay with that. I legitimately have no issue with that. But for me, it's like, stop harassing other people that are in this space because you're completely obsessed with the shit, that I'm saying. And you don't like AI, that's fucking fine. You don't need to fucking be here. But that is something that he can't get. And Donovan is very much the same way. And so he's very much the same way. And there is it's a problem. And so Donovan will never acknowledge that he is autistic, but he also will never acknowledge, he'll never acknowledge that he's wrong. And that's the other part of it too. That's where you get to the narcissist and what I believe is very, very deep rooted sociopathy. And so it's interesting to watch it kind of play out, And so even right now, I'm just because I was laughing because I was trying to close it out. You have Stone Toss Comics, who is very racist, right? And very, very racist. And he says here, I'll show you guys this real quick, right? So this is where it gets into the anti-AI stuff. All right, so he says amateur artists are way more anti-AI than professional artists. All right, and then Carla Ortiz here, who is very anti-AI, says truth, and Donovan is retweeting all that, right? Because he doesn't know that this guy's a racist, but he'll sit there and retweet someone who's openly talking to a racist individual who puts out racist comment all the time. And again, doesn't even care. And that's because, look, I would argue that that Donovan's mom, being as psychotically MAGA as she is, has most likely made him someone who's also, pro Donald Trump. And so it is what it is. But it's also almost midnight, and I want to go play more of the Avatar game. So I think it's supposed to have been off for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So it's pretty good. And pretty decent turnout tonight. Not bad. Not bad turnout tonight. Thank you guys very much. So anyway, but the command unit, to go and to answer your question about Brandon, I've tried being nice. I've tried being direct. I've tried even going to his mom. Nothing works. So I'm just going to be mean. I don't know what else to do. I can't ignore him. Spherical Man will sit there and block upwards of 8 to 10 accounts in a night. I can't do anything. He doesn't listen. So the only thing I can do is use my voice to sit there and remind him what kind of pathetic, weak individual he is. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be a dick. It makes my night fucking worse because I can't, this person will not go away. Donovan at least takes some fucking break until the tism kicks in and he can't fucking help himself. And it's I just wish that these people would realize it's fine. If I like AI, I'm cool with that. I think AI is bee's knees. I think it's got some cool shit going on there. But you cannot sit there and live your whole life. You can't sit there and live your whole fucking life dwelling on what other people are doing if they're ultimately not hurting anyone and they're just doing their own fucking thing. It's that's the problem, is if you are so obsessed in what other people are doing, it really kind of makes you not the winner. Not the good guy in the situation, I guess. But anyway, I guess we will. Yeah, we've talked about the AI regulation, and I agree with you. David here says, so here's the thing. He has no outside life. A digital life is all that he has. My guess is that he's very antisocial. Yeah. Arc Raider soon. Nice. What does he look like? All right, fuck it. I'll show you guys what he looks like. I don't have a new picture. I don't have a new picture at all. What I've got is this. And this is an old photo. Back when Donovan was super into Man of Steel, very much sell Snyderverse to Netflix, totally Kool-Aid drinking. So yeah, this is actually obviously AI. Sean O'Rourke took a photo that he found of Donovan and put him in a Superman suit holding kryptonite. That is Donovan. That's an old photo of Donovan, though. This is again, this is AI, but this is an old photo of Donovan. I don't know what he looks like now. I think this is from when he was a teenager. This is what Sean O'Rourke found. You thought that was Brandon for a moment? No. Brandon looks a little bit different. Brandon, yeah, let's see. I could show you Brandon. I'm not going to show you Brandon, but I could show you Brandon. Brandon has a live stream channel, and it definitely is. It is what it is. How about that? It is what it just is what it fucking is. Laura Loomer posted something mess up about Rob Reiner. Oh no, okay, I'll take a look at that. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. All right, Laura Loomer. That lady's got me blocked. Has had me blocked for a while. Okay. See? Blocked. What did she post about Okay, Trump is right about Rob Reiner. President Trump did nothing wrong. I mean, all right, what is?
Complete and utter lying buffoon. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Oops.
He's a fraud. He lies. He cheats people. Everything that comes out of his mouth virtually is a lie. And he's a con man. And if you look at what he's done with his career and how he's tricked people into things, it's abhorrent. I never liked George W. Bush, his policies, but I didn't hate the guy. I hate this man. I've never hated a politician. I can't not hate somebody who bilks innocent people out of money, life savings. And we've seen it. With that Trump University, he took people's money, $35,000, wiped these people out, and is being sued for it. He steals money from charities. I'm not making complete and utter lying before.
Yeah, well, the thing is, nothing Rob Reiner said here is incorrect. Right? But Laura Loomer, look up here. I don't have time for it now, but Google Laura Loomer tire, and you will find one of the funniest goddamn things. This, and I'm just going to say, this bitch is insane. So, you know, let's see here. When is the last time a human flicked your bean, Laura Loomer? You know, only if you believe it's right to celebrate the death of someone who hated you on moral grounds rather than rise above it to prove the hatred wrong. Yeah. So, you know, it's just, let's see, I haven't no easy way to tell you this, but you have stage 4 cancer of the soul. Yeah, well, there you go. I just, you know, again, people just want to just fucking do whatever, man. The Laura Loomer tire incident's iconic. It really is. Really, really, really is. Yeah, one thing that comes to mind is you can't handle the truth. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I didn't know that was a Rob Reiner movie until recently, you know. I did buy, I was going to watch Princess Bride today, but I just got distracted. I had to, because of the 13-hour shift, I just fucking slept. And then, yeah, what else is there? Like, and then I had to go run errands and stuff today. But my copy of The Mask in 4K came in, and tomorrow my copies of the Ninja Turtles 4K set from Arrow comes in, which are the last movies I'm buying for a while because I'm gonna fucking, well, Snake's on a plane next month. I'm gonna try, but I gotta I'm trying to pay off. I'm trying to pay off my next vacation. We booked a trip for next year, and I'm gonna pay that off, and then I'm gonna go pay off my credit cards and everything else. That's what I'm working on. So yeah. Maybe some trailer parks over on $3 Theater, you know what I'm saying? Just before the end of the year. Help kind of get there. But you know, Matt's gonna go watch some Rocky. Fallout Season 2 is today. Oh, there we go. What is okay, what the fuck? That was weird. Yeah, Fallout Season 2 at 6 p.m. and I will be watching. So I'll be very excited for that one. No, Matt, we'll watch Food Wars. No. I do need to organize my movies and find the collection of Rocky. And you know, and give those a watch. All right. So that is something that I need to do. All right. I can say I got to find them. I got to start watching more movies. Watch Redline. Yeah. What the? Okay. What is going on here? What is happening? Something. All right. Something is going on with StreamYard. I don't know what the hell is going on with StreamYard. But it is glitching. Yeah, it's very glitching. So, all right. Oh, no, Matt, not Rocky. Rocky B. Dennis, the main character in Mask. Oh, okay. It's been a while since I thought his name was Stanley Ipkiss. Right? Brandon hacked Matt. Yeah, this is weird. Look at this. It's so weird. It's lagging bad. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna dip out. Thank you guys very much for hanging. We'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great night. Peace.
Turn off that pesky ad block.